Hey guys, Joe here with Rich and Rina from Stella Rising, and today we're going to talk about how to really optimize your presence on Amazon. One of the things that buyers tell me a lot is how when they're considering a supplier, one of the things they do is check out how well they're doing on Amazon. So Stella Rising has a particular expertise in really helping suppliers to optimize their performance on the Amazon platform. And in fact, Rina used to be with Amazon, and we met before when they were a buyer attending one of our sessions. So thank you guys both for joining us.
So good to see you, Joe.
Yeah, thanks so much for being here, Joe. We really appreciate it.
Thank you. And we're in their new offices, by the way. So before we get started though, tell them about the Stella Rising brand, because you probably, a lot of you there out in the audience know Rich from Women's Marketing, which is now rebranded as Stella Rising. So can you talk a little bit about the reasoning behind that and what you're doing moving forward with the new brand?
Absolutely. So Stella Rising, really exciting. We're the agency for rising star brands, and we really feel we've always built brands, whether you call them emerging brands, fast growth brands, and we really felt it was the right time to rebrand and talk about not so much women's marketing specifically, but how we build rising star brands. So
Gotcha.
Really exciting. Part of that has a lot to do with studying the path to purchase of women over many, many years. And so, what leads us to Amazon is really understanding at the beginning retail and all the different channels and forms of retail, how that expanded to DTC, and of course Amazon. And now more than ever, it's really important to have that strategy to figure out retail, DTC,
Gotcha.
and Amazon has led us to really building Amazon over the last couple of years. And Rina's been a huge addition and a great addition to our team in 2018.
Great. So Rina, let's start from the beginning. Why should a supplier be on Amazon?
Yeah, it's a good question. So one truth that I've learned about Amazon, both coming from Amazon and now that I'm on the agency side, is that Amazon is unavoidable. And having an Amazon strategy is a must. And not having an Amazon strategy is already a strategy on its own. So, choosing to sell as a vendor, choosing to sell as a seller, or choosing not to be on Amazon at all, that is your decision, and that's a strategy on itself. So right now, I feel like there's a lot less stigma than there used to be in the market about Amazon and how it's perceived, especially in the beauty, health, and personal care space. But if you're not taking control of your brand, somebody else will. So it's very important for the brand to understand that the future of their e-commerce business completely depends on themselves, and Amazon is a huge portion of that overall holistic e-com business, because it's not only about Amazon as a siloed strategy. You're looking at your e-commerce business overall, and if that's what you want to do, and that's what you should do, because e-commerce, we're almost in 2019, Amazon absolutely needs to be a part of that e-com strategy.
Gotcha. So we understand that they should be on there. So when they're on there, what are some of the challenges that they face? What are some of the things that they're not doing to the best of their ability that there's some room for improvement?
Yeah, absolutely. So I would say one of the challenges that we face, with the clients that we work with, a lot of the vendors and sellers that we work with, is education. There's a lot that happens on Amazon, and there's a lot that's changing on Amazon. In the time that we've been here, something new comes out all the time. So educating the clients, educating the vendors, the sellers as to why they need to be on there, and coming up with a strategy that works for them, I would say, is one of the most important things. But a challenge that I find is distribution, making sure that you're the one that's managing your distribution. At the end of the day, brand protection is in your hands. Amazon isn't going to be the one protecting your brand. It's your role as the brand owner to really take control of your distribution. So even if you have other distributors, control them. Make sure that you're saying, hey, I'm distributing to you, but you shouldn't sell on Amazon. So take that brand protection and put it into your hands. I would say that distribution would be one of the biggest challenges, and something that brands really need to take control of.
A lot of these brands are startups.
Yes.
So if, they may think, oh, it's digital, I got my kid, I'll put them on it.
Right.
That's not the right way to go.
Absolutely. I actually love what you said about child, because I always say that Amazon is like having a child. You can't just birth it and let it be.
Yeah.
You need to nourish it, and you need to love it, and you need to care about it every single day in order for it to grow and to succeed. And it's not a set it and forget it strategy, basically. And you really need a dedicated resource of somebody who's looking at your account, managing it every day.
So I'm a supplier. I just launched a new product, new to Amazon. What do I do?
Perfect, great question. So the very first thing that you need is a very strong launch strategy. Especially in the health and beauty space, there are a lot of different ways to sell on Amazon. So what is your distribution strategy? You can be a vendor, you could be a seller, you could be in mass beauty, you can be in luxury beauty, you can be in professional beauty. There are a lot of different things and it's very easy to get lost.
Gotcha.
So coming up with a very strong launch strategy would be the very first thing. Everybody's goals are always sales. That's always going to be the
Yep.
answer. But how about your profit? How about your costing? How about your distribution? Do you have the operational excellence to, to be a seller or to be a vendor? So coming up with this is the very first step that you need to take. Once we have that launch strategy, let's talk about your content. We want to make sure that we're putting your best foot forward. So making sure you're educating the customer, making sure that you are putting your best forward as a brand, so really branding yourself, working on your promotional strategy, looking at your competitors. What is your competition doing? How can you be doing that? Is your pricing competitive with everybody else? Amazon's pricing works in a sense that they will match the competition. So take a look at your competitors. What are they doing that you're not necessarily doing? And of course, advertising, and this is something that goes without saying, but when you start a brand on Amazon and you're putting dollars behind who you're hiring and you're putting dollars around your distribution and your operations, make sure to allocate dollars to advertising and marketing as well, because it's really not enough to have really good products on Amazon if nobody can find it. So we need to make sure that the product is good and it's there, but we need to get it out in front of the customer. So making sure that you have a budget for marketing is absolutely non-negotiable. And hey, maybe that budget is small to begin with. Maybe you're starting off with a few $1,000s to begin with, but it's going to help you grow.
Okay, let's talk about the Amazon Buy Box.
Oh,
Can you
yes.
how, what is it, and why is it important for suppliers to know about it?
Yeah, hot topic. So the buy box is an Amazon algorithm, and it's essentially what takes into account every single seller and every single listing that is on an ASIN, and essentially it's a democracy, right? So it's a marketplace, and it takes a few different things into account in the algorithm and determines who wins it. That's called winning the buy box, and that is the vendor or the seller that eventually gets the sale. So what are some things that go into this algorithm? The number one thing that goes into the algorithm is the landed price. So it's not just the price of the ASIN, it's the price of the ASIN plus the shipping. So for example, if you're not Prime eligible and you're offering $7.99 for shipping, it's going to be the total price. So the landed price is the most important thing to look at. Number two thing is definitely availability. If I'm in stock, higher chance of winning the buy box. If I'm out of stock, then that sale will go into the next seller who is then in stock.
Gotcha.
After that, Amazon looks at the fulfillment. So Amazon as a vendor, so shipped and sold by Amazon, always has precedence in winning the buy box. So if you are an Amazon vendor, you do take precedence over everything else. I think that's very important to note. After that, the people who get the second priority is FBA, fulfilled by Amazon. After that, it's merchant fulfilled Prime. After that, it's FBM, fulfilled by merchant. So then you're looking at the people who don't necessarily have Prime shipping. And after we look at all of that, then seller rating also takes into account. Because if you and I are both sellers, we both have the product, we both have it at the same exact
And
price.
I have 1 star and you have 5 stars.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. So if I'm at a 98% and you're at a 90%, then that sale is going to me.
Okay.
Yeah. So essentially, I think the buy box, to your point, is something that every single brand needs to know about and care about.
Wow, that's a lot to consider. And what about, and those are all things that they're not paying extra for. They're things that's just, making sure that they have optimized. But they can pay for marketing on Amazon. Why should they be doing that as well?
Yeah, it's a good question. So making sure your products are visible on Amazon is extremely important. So the way that Amazon's algorithm works is that they place orders based on actualized consumer demand. That demand comes from traffic. So traffic comes from glance view, so traffic equals demand, which comes up with a forecast, which then builds your PO. How do you get traffic? Through advertising. So you're advertising the product, and there's several ways you can do that. You can do that as a search banner on top that really takes over that entire top of Amazon's page to really build more of a brand awareness strategy. Or you can be a sponsored product that's really a direct response strategy. So if I type in shampoo and then that product comes up as a sponsored product, you'll notice it has a little sponsored tag on it, and then it'll say you're looking for shampoo, hey, where's shampoo that you should consider buying?
Gotcha.
And when you're bidding on it, so everything, the way that Amazon advertising works, that it is pay-per-click, so you and I can be bidding on shampoo, we can be bidding on the same exact terms, but whoever is bidding higher, that's who's rising up and who's winning that eventual keyword.
Okay.
And the more that you bid, the higher chance you have of winning that keyword, and the higher you'll be in coming up in that Amazon algorithm.
Thank you both for joining us.
Thanks so much,
Thanks,
Joe.
Joe.